Today's TrueFire artist spotlight is Congilio. Since picking up the guitar at age 13, Corey has been steadily forming a solid musical foundation built upon honesty, integrity, and respect for his art form. Corey moved to Nashville in 2013 and has quickly become part of the town's rich music community. Since moving to Nashville, he continues to broaden his musical horizons by performing with artists of all genres and participating in multiple recording sessions for songwriters and television. Today, we'd like to feature 3 free lessons from Corey's TrueFire courses: Rhythm Factory Texas Blues, Trading Solos Slow Blues, and Essentials Texas Blues Solos.
So you probably thought the first thing you'd see when you got this course was some kind of Stevie Ray Vaughan Pride and Joy type sound. Well, there's a lot of that stuff out there, but one of my favorite incarnations of that shuffle feel is his take on a tune called I'm Crying. And let's face it, he played so much in a trio. I remember early on saying, wow, he plays lead and rhythm guitar at the same time. Again, that call and response thing is real important with this style. We start this, we're in E, and we're going to play some E minor pentatonic riffs and then our walking bass line rhythm riff as well. When we start out, we're with these pickup notes, and 4 and, so 1, 2, 3. And what we're doing here is just playing E, D, E, G, and just giving a little bend on it. And that's our first riff. And as soon as we finish that riff, we have to jump into the rhythm aspect of it. Okay, and that, let me play that for you, then we'll put those two together. You're going to see this in a lot of his music, Stevie Ray's for sure, and a lot of other Texas-type guitar players and blues players as well. And we're just going G, G sharp, B, C sharp, okay? And then we end on the E. And then we're going to play another call and response. And when you look at your notation, you'll see how this cascades into one another, and you really have to have them smooth to tie them together. And then back to your walking line. And that's how the last bar of the measure goes, or the example goes. Now, what's the constant? The whole time. That's what's really important. You'll even see in your notation that I have no X, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and those X's are the muted strums. 1, 2, 3. Pick up. Yeah. Back to the riff. Riff. So it's this great marriage of this call and response, lead and rhythm type playing that makes this stuff really stand out. The next solo that we're going to tackle is in the key of G. We'll be working with the G7 chord, C9, and D9. And of course, you could use a C7, D7, and then back to G7. So let me show you a few ideas that we can work with in our solos. The first one that we're going to talk about is right here in G minor pentatonic, and what a lot of us will call pattern number 2. So it lives there. And it's on the first string, and I do this often in my solos. Well, I'll kind of do a little slide up and then slide back really quickly. So I'll go from the C to the C sharp or D flat. And as I come back, I'll pull off to the B flat. and then I'll end on the G because that's my root note there. Now, the cool thing about this kind of idea and what I like to do is it's almost like I put a human volume pedal on it, if you will. I might play it really lightly and delicately to get some emotion out of it. Then I'll dig in and really sort of make the intensity ramp up, or make it crescendo, as you might say. It's a really cool, useful tool. I mean, you could do that anywhere. And these are some of the things that might get lost in a normal, sort of lesson that, you might hear somebody do it, but they go, oh man, that's the cool part. That's what I wanted to check out. It's those emotions that we can put into our playing that really make our licks stand out. So again, let's try this here on the 8th fret. That's the whole lick, but you really want to get it smooth like that. So what you do is just play it once. You have to give it enough gas on the right hand to make it sustain. So when you do it fast, it's a really great trilling kind of motion, great sliding motion there. Okay, so the second idea that we'll target in this solo is the use of the open 3rd string, the open G string. We're in the key of G, and this creates a really great, I think, Billy Gibbons-esque, ZZ Top type drone quality to it. It's really, really great sound. So what I like to do is play that 3rd string with my middle finger, and then play and keep that droning while I play other notes. And you'll often hear me kind of walk down a scale like that. But I'll keep the open G string going along with it. I put my bridge pick up on, it'll get a little bitier. Now, you'll hear me do a variation or two of that probably in this solo, but that's the derivation of it. It's where it's coming from. Is I love playing that kind of thing. It just makes the guitar sound big and huge, and this kind of situation might be a trio or a quartet that you're playing in. That'll really eat up a lot of space, and it'll sound really full. Here's one more idea that we can target in our solos. We can give this a try. I really love double stops. They have a great aggression and emotion with them. And we're going to do it up here in the octave of the pattern number 1 pentatonic here. Key of G. We can grab our 3rd and 2nd strings. So let me add a little bit of gain to that to help out the sustain. It's very similar to the idea we did earlier, but we're going to do it more in a double stop, more aggressive fashion. If I really gain it up, it's going to sound pretty gnarly. So now we're bringing sort of more maybe rock elements. Again, I quoted ZZ Top, or I mentioned ZZ Top before, Billy Gibbons, players like that, Gary Moore, who will bring this sort of unabashed rock style into these licks. It's really a cool thing to help propel the solo and give it some variety. You can see that we've covered a lower portion of the neck, sort of the middle area here with these higher licks and that little nice dramatic crescendoing thing. And then we'll get up into maybe a higher double stop tension building idea. These are all great things to sort of weave into your solo to give it really a lot of life and a personality as it's going through all 12 measures. Okay, so let's use some of these ideas when we're playing our solos. All right, let's break down this solo, kind of a ballad in the key of G, Stevie Ray Vaughan inspired. Starts right around this G chord, because that's the first chord of the progression, with this little great double stop, very Hendrix inspired. So what I do is I bar the 3rd string, first 2 strings, 3rd fret, first 2 strings, and I hammer on the 2nd string, so it's that D to the E move. And what I do with this little 3rd sound here, this B and this D note, is I slide it in by picking it once, and then what I do is kind of bring it back without slide it again without picking it. Excuse me. Then I answer it So I slide kind of from anywhere to the 7th fret, to the A, G, 4th string. Now we're on the 7th and 5th frets. And you see there I went with my pinky. You could do your 3rd finger, you could do your pinky. Slide from anywhere. So it's going to be 7th fret, pull off, 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th string, back to the 5th string, and then your root note. And then that goes again. Finish it off with this move, which is going to be sliding into the 9th fret, 4th string, D note, 3rd string, 7th fret. Cool little lick here. So what we want to do is hammer on from the A to the B. Those are on the 4th string. Then this little sort of triplety trill action here. That pulls off to that G, E, D, to an E. Because what's happening at that point is the E minor chord is there. Now we're kind of that E minor pentatonic land, pattern 4. So E, D, B, G, E. Then we're staying in that minor idea with kind of like a pattern 5 idea. I really like that. Pinky's on the E note, 12th fret, 1st string. And what we're going to do is bar or grab the A note here on the 2nd string. And when you're doing that pull off, it's with the A and the B flat. So there's a double stop. Land on that G, 3rd string, 12th fret. So it's G, E, D, G, E, because there's that scale. Then you walk it down. Flat 5. So D, B, B flat, A, G, E, E. And sometimes I might have done that in there. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. When I'm playing this kind of style, like I'll do that Stevie Ray Vaughan approachism. Instead of going, or I'll kind of do a quick hammer on. So that's, after that move, E, B, G, E. Now what's cool is the chords coming up are C, D, and it's that C with the E in the bass, D with an F sharp in the bass. Really Hendrix inspired, but hey, Stevie Ray Vaughan used it all the time, and that was he was like kind of the more modern blues Hendrix version, maybe not as psychedelic, but he did so much of that in his ballad playing. So we're gonna hammer on from D to E, G, and we're gonna do this kind of double stop hammer on, which is G to A, and we're gonna play C and G. Now we're getting an A and a C here, but sometimes that E note will ring out. And finish it off with that E to G move. E, G. Then we're going to go to a D chord, same idea. It's D, F sharp, A, hammer on, grab the 4th and 3rd strings. Then what we're doing is we're setting up for that G chord coming around again, because we're repeating that sequence. And it's going to go B, D, E, G. And I still think that this is like E minor pentatonic, but it's G major sounding at this point. So really target those G notes. Bend it once on the A note here, 2nd string, 10th fret. Play it once. and then bend it without using the pick. Go to pattern 1, G major or E minor, however you want to think about it. So if I'm coming out of that, let's set that up. All like pretty obvious stuff. That lick is just B, E, B, D, bend on the A, come down, but release onto the G, back to the A, E, G. So we're going to go tail end of that. To the E, A, slide back, A, G, hammer on from E to D, 6th string, 10th and 12th frets, and land on the G, because that works right over that G chord. Now we're going to play... Again, nice melody, pattern 2, E minor, G major, hammer on from D to E. So that's D, G, bend on the A string, G, E, G, E, D, slide from the 16th fret down to the A, G, A, E, A, G. Now do this really cool riff. So it goes from that. Let's try to play that in its entirety. So kind of a typical blues bend, but now it's over that E minor chord in the progression. And I use my second finger to grab the A. So we're going to bend. Let's set it up. It's easier for me to kind of explain this. I set up. Very important that we get this, because it'll be more fluid that way if we use our third and first fingers. Then as that measure goes by, there's a whole rest, and we go. Again, still very pentatonic, and we slide into pattern 2 for that. And it's just going to be repetition. We've done that in some other solos. So up to the 16th fret. And there's that quick hammer on I was talking about before. 16, or 15 to 17. Okay? That's the second to last lick coming up. Still E minor pentatonic or G major. So you're going to bend on that D. Play E, B. As we slide back, we're going to do kind of a 15-14 slide. Tail end of that lick is just 12, 14, 12. So G, E, D, B, A, B. Then one of my favorite things to do in this style, I think very Hendrixy when I hear this, but definitely it's Stevie Ray Vaughan's thing too. So we're going to hammer on. One more time. So from the 12th fret, we're going to hammer on. Think of it in groups of threes, like, so 12 to 15, Then we hammer on and we get to the 14th fret. So there's our hammer-ons. Okay? And try to keep that technique like almost like a playful sound. You don't want to go. Keep it light and bouncy. So pick aggressively, but let your hammer-ons and pull-offs kind of be light. And there's that whole like melodic ballad solo in the key of G that, it's far from a blues, but it's got so many blues riffs in it. Both, again, major and minor, but we're actually playing, more diatonic, like major, minor chords instead of seventh chords all the time. So when I think of an aspect of Stevie Ray Vaughan's playing that I really liked, his ballad playing is super high on the list because I think he was very emotional, and I tried to write something that I think would really complement what I learned from Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I think you're going to dig it too.